I'm pastor at Christ Church Apostolic in Oregon City and have been for about 3 and a little over years. I came to know about DayStar Ministries when Brother Surstead started promoting this a little wider or more broadly in the district. He presented the notion of partners in counseling. And at first, I wasn't really kind of sure how I could participate in that, or whether or not I would be kind of directly accessing services. I didn't really have a situation where we desperately needed counseling. I definitely understand that my qualifications are not in counseling, but I hadn't had really kind of a situation of our own. And then I started seeing other situations around me occur where other pastors were relying on DayStar Ministries to be able to fulfill that need. And it started kind of the wheels turning, and I realized, you know what, there is a great need for this. And even though I'm not experiencing that myself, there are other pastors who, like myself, are not qualified in the area of pastoral counseling per se, and don't have that type of education background to be able to meet certain needs of our flock. And it made sense to me that they would be involved, and that we would want to kind of be positioned to take advantage of that as well. So when the Partners in Counseling program was formed, we got in on the level, the entry level, and started participating, much in the way we would be supporting a missionary, but this is almost a different type of mission field. It's like an emotional mission field. It's a space in which people desperately have needs, but we don't always see those with eyes of even ministry. We approach people from a spiritual angle, and we are sensitive to spiritual needs, but we don't always see the below the needs. And unfortunately, we're not finding a lot of people walk into our building that are perfectly whole, 2-parent families, never had a divorce in their history. We're coming with, we're seeing people come to the church that are broken. They've suffered terrible pain as children, even some as adults, abuse, and marriages that have blown up 6 different ways. And how to deal with those people is far beyond my capacity. So having a resource such as DayStar Ministries to be able to minister to that aspect of people is invaluable. So as I started seeing this program be developed where I could participate and help support the ministry without necessarily even accessing until I had a need, it made sense to me. And so I've been promoting that, and I've been a supporter, obviously, for the last little over 2 years. And I'm excited about that growing, because that enables DayStar Ministry to go that much farther, to be able to reach that much farther into areas that, perhaps some folks may not have all of the finance they need to be able to access services, or there may be a pastor here and there that may need some support. And enabling DayStar Ministries to reach farther is, I think, an important aspect of why I want to continue to be participating in the Partners in Counseling program. One thing that I'm concerned about as a pastor is doing my best and feeling responsible to meet the needs of the whole person. And we know that we have body, soul, spirit, and I may not be, and certainly am not qualified to be their personal trainer and help them maybe from a physical perspective, but certainly from a spiritual perspective, I'm very concerned. From an emotional perspective, that's an area where I can help spiritually guide people to and away from problems. But once they're involved in something, and once the quagmire of the mind has become tangled in perhaps a web of a systematic thinking that is negative, or whatever the kind of situation is that people find themselves where they're emotionally entangled in something that's negative, I simply don't have the capacity to do that. But yet I'm responsible before God. I have to answer for these people's souls. I have to give an account. So I find myself in the awkward position of being responsible, but not necessarily having all of the tools and the capacity to be able to meet those needs. That is where I can bring a ministry such as DayStar Ministry alongside our ministry, fulfill the whole of what I'm responsible to do, even though I don't have fully the capability, the capacity, the education, the framework to be able to accomplish that. I can look to DayStar Ministries to help in that vein.